The future is coming, and there will come a time when even the technology we have today will be considered obsolete. In this video, we'll show you amazing tech that will change the way we live in the future. You might have already heard about some of these, but with how rapidly we're advancing nowadays, you might have missed some of them. From mapping uncharted territories to 3D printed food, here are 15 emerging technologies that will change our world. Number 2. Number 15. Mapping of the entire ocean floor. If there's something that mankind wants to do, it's to map the entire ocean floor. We've been trying to learn more about our world's oceans for centuries, and yet we're still not successful to this day. You might even hear about the fact that we've explored more of outer space than our very own oceans. Despite how much of a difficult feat it is, researchers have been trying to map every inch of our planet that's covered in water. So far, we're about 21% done. And we might have even made more progress by the time you watch this video. Researchers aim to completely map every last centimeter in the ocean by 2030, but it might take a little longer. Not only will this achievement provide us with valuable information about the planet we live in, but a map of our entire ocean will also enable professionals and experts to properly plan scientific and commercial projects. Our progress on this mission might be a bit sluggish, but as we continue to develop better and more powerful sonar, watercraft, and submersibles, it might not be impossible for us to completely map our oceans in the next decade. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now. Number 14. Flying cars. In the future, you might not need to get stuck for hours looking at the stoplight switch from green to red during Monday mornings in rush hour. Your car might not have any wheels in the future. Instead, it would have a spinning mechanism that propels the entire vehicle several feet in the air. Apart from the modern cars that we see today, there might be flying cars in the future. Of course, this would lessen the number of vehicles on the ground, enabling us to get to our destinations a bit quicker. In the past, cars were vehicles that could only be bought by the upper class. But in recent times, it's become more affordable. Hence, more and more people are buying cars of their own. It's a good thing, but it also comes with its own set of disadvantages, including heavy traffic. Today, flying electric car prototypes have already been announced. The current model, Aska A5, can fly at a maximum speed of 150 miles per hour and travel 250 miles on a single charge. Yep, this vehicle won't use gas or diesel. Rather, it'll be powered by electricity. This vehicle will definitely be able to cut your commute and driving time in half, maybe even more so. But it might not be immediately available to everyone. Pre-ordering this model is possible, but it has an incredibly steep price tag. Aska A5 can be pre-ordered at the eye-watering price of $300,000. It's expected to completely function by 2026, but with its cost, its rollout might be gradual. Number 13. Robots. For the past 10 years, you've most likely seen a robot. In fact, it's safe to say that robots are no longer reserved only for those who can afford them. Today, this tech can easily be considered mainstream. Robots can be anything, from a machine designed to deliver food to a machine that resembles a dog that can follow commands programmed into its system. But just because something is considered modern technology doesn't mean that it will change our lives for the better. According to a recent press release, more than 3 million low-wage health workers will be needed in the future. And robots might be able to fulfill this gap, but this also implies that there will come a time when people won't be needed anymore. The idea that robots will replace us isn't too far into the future. A decade from now, everyone will have a robot in their homes, and even in their workplaces. In fact, several fast food chains all around the world are beginning to integrate robots into their establishments. These robots are still far from replacing all real human workers, but they're beginning to do so. These bots have a cute appearance, and they're programmed to literally charm guests and patrons. I mean, just take a look at this. You'd surely be compelled to come back to a place like this if this cute robot was the one to deliver food to your table. Hotels and other public establishments also began using the same tactic. It's surprising to see these robots now, but there will come a time when they're something considered normal. Number 11. Colonization of other worlds. Since the dawn of mankind, we've been living on Earth. This is the only planet in the entire universe that we can call home. In the future, however, that might not be the case anymore. Despite its capability to sustain life, There will come a time when Earth's resources will be depleted, and so scientists are trying to find a way to expand our territory. And by that, I'm talking about a massive expansion, like conquering planets in outer space. Colonizing other planets might sound like something straight out of an action-packed sci-fi movie, but it's actually quite simple. With the help of powerful rockets and technology, mankind has been constantly expanding its horizons in the universe we live in. We've learned a lot about the red planet Mars over the last several decades. There might be a time when the sandy landscape of Mars will be the planet we'll call home. But for that, we need to develop tech that'll enable us to live and breathe on the red planet. So far, it's estimated that the planet is capable of accepting about 80,000 inhabitants, but it might be significantly less or more. Number 10. Poop vault. It sounds disgusting, but the future of mankind might come down to a vault filled with human waste. Let's face it, fecal matter isn't something that most people like to discuss. But for the sake of this scientific breakthrough, you might want to stick around. Scientists believe that there will be a time when mankind will cease to exist. Just like what happened millions of years ago when dinosaurs left our planet, doomsday will come for the human race. When that time comes, a vault filled with human feces will be our prospective savior. Scientists believe that just like the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, a stronghold and massive structure that preserves all seeds known to man, we should also preserve human feces. Why? It's to preserve gut bacteria from different people all around the world. You see, our body has the natural capability of fighting disease. Thanks to urbanization and globalization, gut bacteria and other microorganisms in our body are beginning to lose their diversity. If you compare the bacteria found in the fecal waste of people living in urban areas, microbes living in the guts of people in remote parts of the world are more diverse. Scientists believe that it's our mission to preserve this diverse gut microbiome for the sake of our immune systems, and also for those who will continue the human race in the future. To this day, there's still a lot we don't know about the microbes found in the human body, and so experts found it necessary to create a massive biobank capable of preserving tons and tons of human poop. Well, that sounds off, but in reality, all experts want to collect are over 1,000 microbiome samples from people living in America, Europe, Africa, and Asia. Number 9. Extended reality. Extensive reality is an umbrella term that includes virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. Extensive reality, or XR for short, is one of the emerging technologies of today. Unlike virtual reality, which can only provide immersive gaming or computing experience, XR would be able to do so much more. A pair of robotic boots that can copy the sensation of roller skates and walking is already in the works. This footwear, combined with a VR headset, would make its user experience a reality different from the outside world. Full-body haptic suits will also come in the future, allowing almost anyone to experience extended reality with minimal consequences. Number 8. Solar panel technology. Several homes today have stopped paying electricity bills and instead rely completely on solar panels to supply electricity inside their homes. When people think about solar power and solar energy, they automatically think about flat panels on top of rooftops. But in the future, this concept might be incredibly different. For instance, photovoltaics might become widespread. This term is a mouthful, but simply put, photovoltaics consists of several solar panels tied together to float on reservoirs, dams, and other bodies of water. This tech is considered lucrative for homes today, but in the future, communities might rely on these setups for electricity. Another thing that might happen is building integrated photovoltaics. As its name implies, this tech will make use of solar panels that are integrated and hidden in the structure itself. For instance, a building's entire wall, roof, skylight system, or even windows might be made out of solar panels in the future. This tech will enable a structure to be able to generate its own electricity without destroying its aesthetics. Pretty intuitive, right? Number 7. Hyperfast trains and the Hyperloop. Flying cars are cool, but let's not forget that one of the things that make a city livable is its transportation system. A good community provides its inhabitants with easy access to any public establishment. One way to ensure that even common folk will be able to reach their destinations quickly is to develop a good public transportation system. Train systems are among the most popular means of transport in the world. Unfortunately, most subways are quite incompetent. Today, Japan is recognized as the country with the most sophisticated and developed train systems. Not only are they always on time, but they also have the fastest trains in the world. Today, a bullet train, known as Hayabusa, is the fastest train in the country. It can reach a maximum speed of about 200 miles per hour, ensuring its passengers a quick and easy journey. In the future, however, a new line of bullet trains might be able to reach a maximum speed of over 350 miles per hour, perhaps even more. But aside from bullet trains, the Hyperloop might become a thing. Imagine a ground-level transparent route with hovering pods going around. What you're picturing might be how we get around in the future. Unlike bullet trains, these hovering pods can be used individually. These pods will enable its passengers to journey throughout the vacuum tube at speeds as high as 760 miles per hour. That's literally almost twice as fast as the bullet trains of Japan. I don't know about you, but I'd be pretty scared to ride these high-speed transportation systems at the beginning. In the future, however, high-speed traveling might be a norm. Number 6. Virtual reality. VR headsets are fairly common nowadays. Almost any gamer has access to VR headsets. These devices enhance the experience of games. In fact, some games and software are specifically developed for these devices. More of them aim to give its users an immersive experience. In the future, however, virtual reality might contribute to something nobler. A decade from now, or perhaps even less, more sophisticated and refined virtual reality headsets might get released on the market. This time, however, their purpose won't be limited to entertainment. This device that can provide multi-sensory experiences might soon be used to simulate real-life scenarios to train professionals. For instance, pilots, surgeons, and other experts that are still studying might learn more quickly with the help of virtual reality. Number 5. Gesture-based computing. You most likely have used Alexa, Siri, or even Google Voice Assistant in the past week. These voice assistants were meant to make it easier for us to complete a task or control our devices without even touching them. But what if we take this up a notch? It's easy to speak out and give a command to a voice assistant, but there is a limit to what they can do. It's still far more intuitive to navigate on your phone or computer yourself. But what if you can control your computer or phone using gestures alone? Gesture-based computing is literally something that is always featured in futuristic movies. Simply put, this tech will enable us to control digital resources without using the usual input devices like our keyboards, mouse, and controllers. And now it's time for today's topic. This incredibly innovative hotel is most definitely among the emerging technologies that will change the world. This massive dome is a hotel designed by the Russian architectural firm Remy Studio. This futuristic structure will be built to withstand floods, tidal waves, rising water, earthquakes, tsunamis, and just about any natural disaster there is. Half of the entire structure will remain submerged, while its upper half will stay on the water's surface. Not only will this hotel be able to survive any disaster known to man, but it will also be built to be completely sustainable. It will gather energy through solar cells, and it'll also have a rainwater collection system. For now, this establishment is named Ark Hotel. It's still only on paper for now, but in the future, it'll be a 151,000 square foot establishment that's capable of providing anything its guests desire. It sounds pretty impressive, but it might be a while before it's completed. But when it is, it'll be a hotel where patrons will never have to leave. As always, comment down below with the hashtag today's topic and let us know your opinion about what we just showed on screen. With that said, let's keep things moving. Number 4. Material of the future. You might have heard about graphene before, and if you have, you might also have an idea as to how valuable this material is. You might even know that this material might soon be seen everywhere in the future. Graphene is one of the world's most valuable materials, and its worth will continue to increase in the future. It's something that's only one carbon atom thick, and yet it's more durable and stronger than steel. What's more, it's also incredibly flexible and long-lasting. Ever since its discovery, graphene has been dubbed as a wonder material that will dominate industries in the future. It's the thinnest material known to man to date, and it also possesses great qualities that make it a great option for creating all sorts of tech. Aside from its lightness, durability, and flexibility, it's also a superconductor that allows electricity to flow throughout without resistance or energy waste. The best part? This material does not react with oxygen in the air, so it doesn't rust like iron. Moreover, it's made from pure carbon. Therefore, objects made from this material will have little to no impact on nature and won't create pollution. It's also considered biocompatible, which means it's not toxic to living organisms, making it an attractive choice for creators and developers all over the world. In the next several years, we will surely see creations made from this so-called miracle material. Number 3. Intelligent toothbrush. Dental care is something that many people across the world don't have access to. There are also those who simply forget about their dental appointments. In the future, we might be able to take care of our dental health better thanks to a smart toothbrush that will literally spy on our brushing habits and send our data straight to your personal dentist. For now, the first intelligent toothbrush that will most likely be released is manufactured by Philips Sonicare. This toothbrush will be able to connect to your phone via Bluetooth and compile your oral hygiene data onto your device. If you think that this intelligent toothbrush will only be able to monitor when you brush your teeth and record it, that's not the case. It has more exciting features than you think. This device will be able to provide you with a 3D map of your mouth and show you the exact teeth that need to be cleaned or brushed more. Sounds pretty awesome, huh? But that's not all. If you're the type of person who always ends up with bloody gums because of brushing with too much pressure, you'll be able to avoid that when this product gets released. For some, this thing might be a bit too excessive, but for people who care a lot about their dental health, this tech will be pretty awesome. Number 2. Smart mirror. If you ask anyone what type of mirror they have at home, they'll most likely look at you in confusion. In the future, however, asking people this question might be something normal. Why? Soon enough, there might be an entire market for smart mirrors. But what exactly are they? Unlike the plain mirror you most likely have at home, smart mirrors are capable of displaying more than just your reflection. Just like your phone, this reflective surface will be able to show you important news, the weather for today, the current time, your upcoming appointments, and more. This advancement isn't really something surprising, but it's amazing to hear about nonetheless. With all the smart furniture around us, it isn't surprising that soon people will want to improve something many of us look at before heading outside. But that's not the end of smart mirrors. In the future, smart mirrors might be able to display information about the user's health as well. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Is a smart mirror something you would be interested in buying when it comes out? Let me know about your thoughts in the comments down below. Number 1. 3D printed food. No living creature is able to live without food. As for mankind, we're a bit particular about what we eat. Each of us has a preference when it comes to what we intake, and that's totally fine. For animals, food is something that's necessary. But for humans, the taste is also important. You might be the type of person who hates instant and microwavable meals, but in the future, you might not have a choice but to consume them. In the future, you just might be able to taste food that comes straight out of a 3D printer. Yep, you heard that right. In the future, you might eat steak, pasta, cakes, or even ice cream that's made by a 3D printing machine. Unlike the way we prepare food today, instant meals might have a different definition. Instead of a microwave timer, all that you might need in the future is to wait for the laser to finish materializing your meal. You're probably wondering how exactly this works. Columbia University was able to prepare meals using infrared and blue light lasers in a 3D printer. Instead of an edible material, the lasers would use food and heat it with pinpoint accuracy. In the future, the university is hoping to create a 3D printer that can cook high-quality meals. So far, experiments are going great, with the majority of the subjects preferring the taste of the 3D printed meals. However, you'll never know if you'll like this new tech until you taste something made by this machine. Just imagine how awesome this tech would be, though. Cooking is great and sometimes therapeutic, but for people who can't be bothered to spend an hour for a decent home-cooked meal, 3D printed food might be a healthier alternative to instant food filled with preservatives. So which of these innovations are you looking forward to the most? Let me know about it in the comments down below. Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on the screen right now. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.